Hello. We are back again. It's Wednesday, which means it's time to do some more world building. I need to make sure my art stream is... nope, it's a black screen. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. Welcome back. So, this is where we left off last week. I want to get this done. Hopefully today. That's the plan, that's the goal. It's literally just finishing up the colors and then adding in a bunch of stamps and a bunch of like where the towns are gonna be, where all the landmarks are gonna end up, that kind of stuff. But for right now, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of coloring it. So, for the most part, this stream's probably going to be just me going through, finishing up what I started, and really kind of get into the weeds of it here. Nope. That's more than enough. So yeah, feel free to come by, hang out. We're just gonna... It's a chill day today. We're just gonna be chilling here. I also apologize if you hear any banging happening. My father is currently doing some home improvement. I just realized I chose the wrong gray here, but that should be fine, right? Last time I streamed this, I was definitely having some shoulder problems, which is why I was skeptical to stream again today. Hopefully, I don't have to worry too much about that. Oh, I don't need to zoom. Like an hour. Here I am thinking that my brush opacity is down to 50%, but it's not doing that. For some reason. I'm not even pressing that hard. I'm here hoping the music's not too loud. But it is. Alright, I think that's not bad. A few areas I'd like to. But ultimately, that's not bad. You need to blend areas like that out more. Probably work down here, but that's a little weird. Let's work on this area a little bit more, and then we can get to work on this little rift there. think I chose the wrong green for this. Yep. I kind of like the lighter look, though, right around at the edge of there. That's not bad. Let's see how that looks from a good way to play before we blend that out. I kind of like it. Really defines the edge of that cliff there. We're gonna do that more, I think. I can't really do it up here because those are some really bright colors and I can't really make it brighter without making it like be bad. So I'm not going to. I'm gonna blend it out and we're gonna move on to the next one. Where we tackle the beaches. That's good. Let's move on to the other cliff then. Some other major cliffs edge. We can add some more cliffs in later, but for right now, we will the major cliffs are at. Every time it autosaves, I forget. I forget that it autosaves and jump scares me a little. I am in much less pain than I was in last time I streamed, or this is almost liberating. I'm able to move actually pretty quickly here. Last time I wanted to stream some art, like last week, I was just like, well, last week me and the people who I live with were busy painting up a room. And I was using my shoulder a lot because we were putting down some white paint, a base, for us to use so that none of the old paint shone through the colors that we put down. And I was rolling that paint on with my entire shoulder. So naturally, the time came for me to eventually sit down and start streaming some art. Needless to say, I couldn't really go that quickly. My shoulder was in so much pain. It was bearable enough for me to bite my to grit my teeth and just kind of bite the bullet through all that. But oh man, was it a little difficult. It was a little bit difficult to get done. Now though, I'm feeling just fine. I'm doing good. That's not to say that we aren't painting still, we're just doing much less in a short period of time. Cliff as well. It's not really showing up with how dark it is. Let's go with a darker color. Transition to this darker color here that just shows up better. That's much better. Colors having a hard time showing up. It means their value is similar. So value of that color is similar to the color that you're trying to make it show up on. Start. I like the idea that this area here is like a cliff for the most part. Your cliff there. We can hold this up. Alright, I think that's gonna start blending out. Not too. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. About 30-ish minutes of work. Still a lot more to do though. I think the next step I want to tackle is definitely going to be the coastlines more. I want to focus on the beaches. Once I get the beaches in, and the rest of the cliffs and whatnot, we can then start focusing more on, like, making sure it's all decorated. Because we did most of the terrain last week. Like, we did the landscape, then we did the coloring. once we get this basic, once we get like the sort of basic coloring in for the beaches, should look a lot nicer, and then we can start adding a few more things to it. Because this is already starting to look pretty good. Just stretch it a little bit before we continue. Oh shoot. Not mean to click that. Apparently you can fill the entire canvas with a single color if you'd like. Not bad. How does the light personally use for this kind of stuff? I can see how it's useful. Why is there always hair in my mouth? I don't know why, but there's always hair in my mouth. Not great. Alright, let's start getting these coastlines in. We're gonna use, I think, this beachy kind of yellow here. I think that this coastline would be a beach. Yellow is the color that's used much, though, in this one specifically, though. There does seem to be quite a bit of yellow just from the get-go. Brownish yellow. This should at least stand out a bit. When you're working with a lot of greens, this yellow can kind of blend out nice, but we're working with a lot of whites and grays here, so I doubt this yellow is not going to pop. I really think it's gonna stand out. Actually, let's make this area a kind of cliff that runs into a beach. I'm not gonna go through and add this sandy color on the beaches of the northern area. I think on the really snowy parts. Mostly because I don't think they need them. They've already got the darkness of the edge of the map there. I don't go fix the coastline. I'm mostly doing it for the more warm areas. That could be blended out better. Maybe a bigger front. Something along those lines. Not bad. I think that these islands will be mostly. It's oddly vibrant there. Need to go with this darker kind of ashy color there for beaches. Stand out less. I might. Wrong color. Apologies. Yeah, the darker sand definitely adds a little less in the denser regions, I suppose. need to put too much thought into the beaches for the most part. They're pretty obvious. I think some more along this coastline here, and then we're done with the beaches. Maybe up here as well. Let's take a look at this. Yep, those are some pretty obvious beaches. They're not hard to spot. Alright, with the beaches put in, now we can start actually putting in more, like, I suppose we should put putting in, like, the final touches of the terrain. Make sure everything's nice and blended out before we head on to the next stage. That's right. more of this yellowish color around up here to make it look a little bit more dead. Yeah, it's what the cold does to things, it makes them dead. It just happened. Probably had this yellow as well. More like a light pinkish. What's up here? I think we tone it back down with some of this white. This This isn't the northmost edge of the continent, but it is quite close. Actually, I gotta make sure it looks rusty. Did the music just stop? Hold on. Something paused the music. I don't know what just paused the music. Hold on. Is this just... okay, I see. Hold on. There we go. The playlist itself doesn't loop. That's weird. Well, you learn something new every day. So this is looking pretty good. I think what's next... Well, there's a few areas that I think I might want to blend out a little bit more. Just like that much more, just to be sure. That they look okay. But outside of that, there's not much else that I would like to do with the terrain. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. Which is, we're gonna go ahead and put down some water. We need to put down more water. Settlements tend to congregate around water or nearby water. So it's good to put down where the water is first. So next we're going to put down some rivers and lakes. Thinking I kind of want a big lake somewhere on one of these islands or something. Maybe on this island. Put that there. Limo. But yeah, I kind of want a large lake. These lakes are huge. Hold on. Now, I don't know nothing about lakes, for the most part. I know that there are lots of different kinds of lakes, but I don't know how they work in geography at all. Lakes don't tend to be that big on the map. There are certainly some lakes that are massive in the world, like the Great Lakes in the United States, but for the Red Sea is also technically a lake. But I don't want my lakes to be that big. Maybe something around here, larger lake. You can have some icy lakes kind of dotted around. Let's do smaller ones. Dotted around up here. I don't like that. one or two more lakes. While I know there's probably going to be lakes up in the mountains, I'm not going to put too many lakes up there because I want there to be actual mountains instead. Okay. Let's add, now this is the river tool. With this, we can connect these things up. So we're gonna zoom in a bit. I'm gonna use my mouse for this. I just think it's better. As you can see, it just carves a lake. It carves a river, I mean. Just like that. And if we zoom back out, looks pretty dang good. I think it looks all good. But you can like have rivers fade in. This it trails off there. Of course, I'm gonna have some rivers from the mountains. I think we'll have start maybe around here. Here. Rivers are kind of vast and unpredictable, so I wouldn't say that they're the most predicting you can do for a river. I think is like, hold on, I'm gonna do this. The most predicting you can really do for a river, I think, is just to you can predict where it's going to go based off of the topography, of course, but I'm not getting too into the topography. Lower down the width there a bit, so that blend isn't too much. A little too boxy. That's all right. So yeah, we can really kind of go crazy with it. Of course, I want them to be thinner in width than the actual canyons we've got going on here. Maybe a little bit. I forgot you can use the mouse with that. I am not using my not using my drawing tablet for this because I find it to be way easier to just use the mouse. Yeah, this could be bigger. Ah, nope. Trying to get something that looks a little bit more convincing than those guys. There we go. We tend to carve away at the area, the land that they are carving into, of course. They tend to make it shallower and closer to the ocean's level, so that is as far as I understand it. Okay, that jittering is happening. That's unfortunate. I'll make sure not to do that much. Oh, the fading's still on. Of course, I don't want to go too crazy with the rivers themselves. Like that's not very realistic. That's not bad again. I think that this wouldn't be the case. That entirely for now. I think there might be a lake there. We're gonna do that. I'm just trying to justify the landscape a little bit with these rivers. Like, why does this look like this? Well, because rivers are flowing through there and eroding away and they've been eroding away at the land for a really long time. So they cut these striations into it. I didn't fade this in. Have no fear. Eraser tool is here to save the day. That's the wrong direction. Yep, seems. Of course, I want to add something like this around the top, because I imagine that a lot of the water in this area outside of the coastline would come from glacial. Streams that have been formed by ice melting in the mountains. Let's see how that looks. Very rivery. I've added a lot of rivers. Granted, a lot of them look a little weird. I'm gonna add a few more that cut into this canyon. Well, maybe. I kinda don't want to touch the canyons with the rivers because it makes them feel more supernatural that they don't have rivers flowing into them. The whole point of that would be to say, get an audience thinking, what's the point? How did that get there? And again, I have some rivers going into it here, so maybe at the edges. Oh, so that doesn't make much sense. I think I should turn that around. River, put that there. Maybe have something to... No, not like that. Not like that. That's better. And from that, we can take an offshoot to go maybe here. These little areas where rivers get close to a shallower, more a shallower part of the world, they tend to craft these like little tributaries here. If I remember correctly, those are called deltas. They're pretty cool. I think we can have a little bit of something like the way that these rivers are formed makes this like makes this lake here feel like the source of all the water in this region. I don't mind that. I think it's kind of cool. Makes this place feel way more cracked, fragmented, and like broken, which is good, I think. I should probably vary the width of the rivers a little bit. add some smaller ones. That doesn't look great. There we go. And this, of course, is to account for the major rivers. This doesn't account for all the tiny creeks and streams that probably dot this landscape. This area is pretty arid. I think we should add some rivers going into that. Maybe we... Oh, that's right. I find that more points tends to make it a little bit non-natural looking. Let's try that, I guess. That gets that far, we're probably gonna get him. I want to add a few more rivers around here. I forgot how to undo button work for a second there, not gonna lie. Of course, I want to try my best to keep things at least somewhat consistent. I highly doubt anybody with a geography degree is going to be watching, or an audience member of something like this. Ooh, that's way too much. Let me make these a little thicker. But I'd appreciate it if someone who did have a degree in that field did watch. It'd be fun. But at the same time, I'm not really making it for someone to dissect like that. I'm making it mostly because I want to. It's impressive how natural these can look with just a little bit of work. Maybe not this one, but this. That. Oh, close enough. There we go. Rivers also tend to flow in a direction. That's why I didn't connect this one up to there. I mean, I could. It's not entirely implausible that it would be able to do something like this. I think something like this would look a little bit better, yeah. I think 3 is the thinnest I'm willing to go for this. I still have to leave room for settlements. So, not too keen on filling the entire place with rivers. Not giving me good wiggles here. The deltas are nice, but I think I want to add something like this. Putting it close to a beach there. From what I've seen, rivers don't really tend to go near beaches unless they're cutting through them into the water, the ocean. I think here might be able to use some. Not quite. Definitely not. There we go, better. Inclusion of these smaller rivers that like lead underground are kind of important. Because underground rivers there are a lot of them. As far as I know, there's quite a few underground rivers that exist. I'm gonna put a lake here. Not gonna put many of those underground rivers around here because this is like the source for a lot of the water. There it goes again. Yeah, look at that. That looks way more natural now. Or perhaps supernatural in some cases. I should add some more lakes and rivers up this area over here, so let's do that. I don't like that. I think that these are just gonna come from off the map. Lead to places like that. I'm liking the shape that it's making. A little better. This is all, of course, from a very basic understanding about how rivers work. I'm not like a river expert. I'm just doing what looks nice and somewhat natural, from my understanding. Oh, I wanted to pan around, not that. We can have some coming in from, like, off-screen here. Or going off-screen themselves. Yeah, there you go. That's not bad. Might be a little much, actually. I might want to go through and erase some. It should be fine. There's plenty of space for settlements. It's been about an hour and a half now. We're making some pretty decent progress on this. I plan to get this finished, so if this gets done before my typical 4-hour mark, I think I'm just gonna call it quits. I don't know if I'm gonna get to any of the labels today. I can do that in my spare time. Next week I want to do something else other than map design. I want to draw off something else. This is okay. Yeah, that's that. The next, okay, let's add a compass rose actually. The nautical compass, I think. I'm not entirely certain how this whole thing works with the nautical compass. This is okay. You can't get higher than 32. Yeah, I've got no idea how this thing works at all, so I'm probably not gonna use it. Next up, we're gonna be working on symbols and putting in places. We're gonna put in a few things like that's a giant bridge. First, go to where is layers? Do we have layers? Last I checked, we did have layers. We have settlement stuff. We've got natural stuff. You make them real tiny. These are really just kind of scribbles for the most part. As you can see, there you go. And these white ones we'll take from the environment. They can look generally pretty nice. But yeah, you can like take this and populate an entire area like that. This one, that might be pretty good for the peak here. Let me make it smaller. We can dot these around. Then we can take some more these harsher mountains. I think I should use the I kind of want to use the pen for this, but the mouse allows me to adjust the sides of the symbol scale pretty easily. I think we should just start by placing our largest in the areas we want them to be in. We can come back in with some color in a bit to really customize how these look, but this is doing alright so far. Now, I intended to take a small break there, just chat a little bit. But I kinda like, ooh, stickers. My brain's going funny mode right now. Of course, we can erase stickers. They get in the way. I'm gonna turn down the symbol scale, go with something like this. Really kind of populate this area with mountains. Make it look way less dense. Way more dense, I should say. I'd probably be able to do this quicker if I was using my pen actually. A bit faster. This allows us to really kind of rail out our mountains a bit as to get further away from our tallest peaks and fill in the areas next to our tallest peaks, make them feel way more dense. There's certainly two spots where there's some spots where two mountains kind of fight for each other a little. So, and you can see, that looks pretty dense. And we can really peter it out with some really less intense mountains like this one. You can add foothills. I'm gonna finish up with these ones actually. Nope, those are more foothilly. Ah, I finally found that one that was Z-fighting. Bang. There's another. Can't for the life of me tell where it is now. Let's move on to something like this. Upsize and just kind of scribble in some foothills in a way that's nice. Have them kind of fade in the mountains there. We can make it a spray brush. A bit better, actually. No. Dang it. A lot of them are now already placed. Dang it. That'll have to do. I think I like that way that looks. Now we can go into some trees. I'm thinking some of these pine tree like. I'm definitely gonna use this paper for this. Oh, those are too big. Make it tiny. Dear God, they place it on the water too. Let's turn this off then. That way we have way more control over where the trees get placed. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's fine that they get placed in the water. We can just erase them. Kind of dense foresty area here. Kind of go into these mountains. Turn down the placement density and we can put some more. around in these areas. Make them look more sparse. Because winter forests definitely do exist. And so do mountainous forests. But I think given that this would be yeah, I don't know if I like how that looks. Hold on. Get rid of all the trees. The trees are too densely packed. That's my problem. They need to be spread out more. The trees need to practice social distance. So let's turn down the occlusion rate by a bunch. Turn up the spray brush size so that there's less trees in the area. It's generally more sparse. There we go, that's legible now. Now we can go through with our eraser and get rid of the places where trees don't belong, like in the ocean. Also, if there's any orchard trees, I should get rid of them because that means that trees growing on the cliff. Also, you should just get rid of a few random trees. The more north that they are, I want the forests north of this region to be kind of sparse. I was going to talk about how me and a few of my friends finished up Fullmetal Alchemist today night. Goated show. So good. And now I have something new to add to my repertoire of references. Because, like, as a story, And as a setting, Full Metal Alchemist definitely scratched that treasure planet itch that I've had for years. It isn't the same, but it's definitely. I feel like it has some inspirations from Treasure Planet in a way, but not a lot. Maybe it's just because they're both steampunk stories and all the steampunk. See how that looks now. That's not bad. This area I've neglected. Now that that's done, I think we should push the forests around a little bit further. Like into the mountains and further north. Before they do that though, we're going to turn the placement rate down almost all the way to that 0. Actually, placement rate should be up. Placement density should be down. Better. Feels like the entire region is foresty now. I kind of intended that. The other region in this world is pretty arid and dry, and I wanted this place to contrast with it. So it makes sense it'd be really wet, really cold. Lots of lush forest. Let's take a look at that. Forest, yes. The forest is everywhere. I think that's good, personally. It's a lot of trees to work with. It's a good representation for the forests in the area, I think. If there was one where it's like would randomly get rid of symbols just generally, it'd be nice. So the next step is to start working on these settlements. first thing, of course, we need to do is start putting in some of these like beachier cliffs, like these cliff symbols. I added the gray along the cliff's edge here to make it look like a cliff, because there really isn't really any cliff symbols that are like that straight, other than this one, which I don't know why this radius is so. What the heck? Do this. Yeah, I typically place these around beaches where I can, and like give some three-dimensionality to the landscape. I'll also get rid of the trees in the area, make it look a little better. Probably something I should have done before I put the trees in. Should make some somewhat interesting shapes, I think, to go around the coastline here. I don't think they can go there. When I first started doing this, I originally thought that, oh, I can use this to draw around all of the coastlines in my entire map and put a bunch of these little cliffs at them. But no, it's not a good idea. It takes a very long time. When I do that, you have only so much time to waste anyways. So I'm gonna put it around the place where I think that it's most necessary instead. The reason why we did the highlighting on the major cliff edges themselves. I just remembered something I need to actually add in. that I should have added in before, and doesn't make sense as to why I haven't added it in. How am I going to though? Okay. New plan. Don't know how I forgot to add this in, but I did. Water, tracer, get rid of this. I completely forgot about a major plot thing that I should have remembered. And we're going back to this. I'm gonna have to redo a bit. I thought I was on good pace here. No, I was making a big mistake. Bring this ice down even further. Seems rather haphazardly placed. I mean to be the first to admit that. Okay. Problem is kind of solved. We're going back to cliff. Let's put this cliff back in because I just got rid of it. That's what I get for not paying attention. I know it looks a little janky, but I think this is good for the purposes I need it for. Okay. That's a bit better. We're 2 hours in now. And I think this is looking pretty good. I feel like the redder parts could use some mountain. If we didn't have enough mountains already in this piece. Give me a few minutes here to rest my shoulder a bit. It hurts. Not as much as before, but it hurts. What happened there? It was just a rendering issue. Okay. I forgot to stretch out my wrists. That's what I forgot. That's why it feels so weird. Oh. I should probably take a break to stand up, walk around, maybe get a snack. Just in general, if I'm gonna be taking this time anyways, but I kind of don't want to. Alright. Get back to work. Gonna finish up this cliff edge and then focus on maybe making settlements. don't know why it insists on putting this really saturated dot of color at the beginning of my pen strokes. What did it do? It's much better now. Okay, settlement time. We gotta choose where we're gonna put these things. I don't know how many settlements we're gonna have. At least 10? This is definitely gonna be a bit of a densely packed place. So I think maybe we should... of course we're gonna have one in the mountains here, but I want to start with like this lake. Big. We have lots of like houses. We have some compass roses. We have houses that are like in the colors that we want. Trees, fields, villages. Got some more modern buildings we want. More iconography, some rocks. I want to make use of those rocks. Some mines. Ruins. A lot of those rocks. I'm really just looking through my options here that I haven't seen or looked through yet. Desert buildings. There's a lot of desert stuff. So it could be vaguely like Greek. Gothic mansions and such. I like the Gothic architecture. That'd be good for this spot. There's a lot of Halloween stuff. Graves and graveyards and what? Those are blue. Very, very blue. It looks like more Asian inspired architecture. There's a lot of it. I think we're gonna go with the more Gothic stuff. For the most part. Got a lot of these like castles and such. How big are you? Oh, very big. Maybe not if they're gonna be like that. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe for some of the bigger buildings in a settlement, but not anything large. What's the difference between this one and this one? They're the exact same. I think we want some of these. Put a few of those around. Well, typically I start with a kind of base. So something to just like start out as the center. Maybe I should just stick with some of these. Because I like these. These are the only buildings that actually have the colors I want. This should be a little bit less saturated. I think that a lot of the buildings in this area are going to be like fortresses and keeps. So something kind of like this. This tiny. Let's start by clearing out the trees in the area. I want the settlement, something around here. Put like a keep there, and then we can kind of radiate out a few of these larger buildings. Once we have the larger buildings in place, we can start adding these smaller ones. Once we get the smaller ones in place, we can start adding even smaller buildings. Sort of fill the space up a bit. With those in place, then we can add the even smaller buildings. Like these little outskirt towns. They don't share the color that I hoped that they would. We can do something like this. Now they're all green. What does this look like? Not great. Kind of clashes with the style of it. I think the red roofs can work at least well enough. This is like great for lots of smaller settlements. And of course connect them with the individual houses. And another thing that we need to keep conscious of is farming. Let's get rid of a few more of these trees. Make some room for farms. What just happened? A little odd. we have this windmill. Ah, there it is. Oh, that's actually quite large. Really just kind of going for what looks good. No real rhyme or reason to it. Oh. Right. That's one settlement done. And should be visible. If you look at it from a good distance away. Very visible. That's quite a large settlement. Even how quickly I was able to get that in. I don't think I'm gonna spend too much more time on this. Let's get the trees back in. Thinking another settlement somewhere around maybe this region. Something a bit smaller than that one. We will start with this. Not what I wanted to do. I just saved. I'm gonna use this, do my mouse. I'm gonna use my mouse with this. It'll make it a little less tedious. That'll do it for like the main, well, maybe a little bit more for like the main city itself. What happens if I turn on this? Shuffles all the symbols. Okay. There we go. Then we can move on to some of the sparser areas. It's okay if they overlap, like some of the buildings overlap a little bit, because these details tend to be pretty small and most people aren't going to notice them. See, that's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more up here to show that, yeah, the village area definitely surrounds the city. Alright. Now we just gotta get a few farms in, and that's another town down. Those are quite large. Right. That's 2 down. Those 2 are actually quite large. Let's focus on some smaller cities, like maybe one right here between them that's just like a village. Literally just a few of these around, with maybe one small centerpiece in the form of maybe something like this. There you go. I'm gonna have to fill this in mostly with individual pieces the way I've got this laid out. About 2.5 hours in now. I'm getting to that point. guess, like around here? Just to fill in a bit of that space, or maybe like. That's not bad. I think I kind of like that. Oh, my apologies. Moved my hand and it accidentally hit my mic. I feel like the villages or areas are going to be more densely packed. Again, that looks way too big. I feel like the other map is comparatively large. I'm gonna try and make a really, really small settlement. Just somewhere. Like on this larger land mass here. Just try my best to make something kind of small. That'll do. At least to start. Did the music stop again? It did. Why doesn't this playlist loop? Man, I definitely should have taken a break. I'm really feeling it. I think that's big enough. tiny fields, one small space. Put some of those trees back. Too big. Too big. I did start the stream a little late, so I might not go for the full 4 hours. Probably not. Had a bad habit of doing that the past couple days. I need to be better. Oh, that's too tiny. Still needs to be legible. That's the hard part. Making it so that people can actually see what you put down. There you go, it's much smaller. The first 4 settlements are in. I think I'm gonna go for maybe 10 at the most. Let's get the biggest settlement in and get the one in the mountains done. Because I want this big spire here to mean something. So let's start by adding a few of these around. Go. Then we can add right on in, add something like this at the base of this mountain. Any taller and the mountain just takes it over. I want the hints of a settlement. Something saying, hey, people live here. We're not going to do any of the village stuff. We're going to do some of these larger buildings. I don't want a tower there in the center, but I also don't want to take away from the mountain itself as a statement piece. Let's do something like, yeah, something like this. Actually, due to these, we're gonna put a castle there. Yes, perfect. We have some of these larger buildings around. Would look better if I did. There we go. Oh, I got hotkeys. I didn't even know I had hotkeys. There, yeah. I'm trying my best to resist the urge to zoom out right now. I want to get as much as I can first. Right, I think they'll do it. Oh man, that's visible. Yep. There it is. The big city. Right there in the center of the map. The only real visible part about it is like the rooftops. Why I chose that nice blue. I might actually cut it short today. I kind of want to spend some time with this off stream. I know it's only been like 2 hours 40 minutes. Way less time than I would typically stream for. Maybe I should try to push for 3 hours. I should try to push for 3 hours after. Keep myself up to a standard. Alright. That's 5 settlements. I want a settlement around here, I think. Let's do that. Nice fortress there. Similar to what we used earlier. I think I kind of want a spire. Oh, maybe not. We can have a spire in the next one. I think that's enough for center of city. I realize now I forgot to put some cliffs on the edges of these beaches. Who did it for this? For these? I should go around and do that. Start with like that. You fill some of this space in with some farms. Now let's use these ones. I'm compelled to use like these white ones to really make it feel like this is a lot more inhospitable. Like they can't really grow crops here. They're dry, but they can't. Or it looks like it's pretty difficult to grow crops at all. Yep. Let's add a few more bits, pieces, settlements. Run back there. Yeah. We go. Another settlement down. I'm thinking for 2 more settlements. I want again icy fortress to the north and some kind of village on another island, or maybe not spire. Oh, I just hit my mic with my water bottle. I'm so sorry. Here's some ASMR for you. My bad. We want a settlement on this island. We want a settlement on this island at least, and I want one up here. So let's focus on... Well, first, actually, I should probably focus on filling out those cliffs. It's tedious work. That. It's good down a bit, yeah. Is the right orientation? Sorta. No, it's not. One of the major problems with rotating these symbols is they tend to look a little funky. These cliffs are here just to mostly give some of the spaces more height and definition. If we try something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe I should focus on getting a lot of the landmarks in first. It's like the only one that I think is really you can really rotate and get away with. It's a little wonky, it's a little weird itself. I'm gonna try and make it to a bit further, I think. We're almost at the 3-hour mark. Get a lot of this tedious work done, and then I'll work on the rest of the settlements next time. It's rotation on those. Where was it? Where the heck it go? There it is. Okay. That works. That little bit there is not going to really get picked up by anybody, I don't think. Yeah, rotating cliffs can be a bit of a hit or miss because sometimes they're either really good and they fit real well, or they look real wonky and you're like, what the heck happened? Why it look like that? Yeah, that one's a bit of an example. Probably make it a little larger, maybe. It's a little. This looks like kind of shelf, like steps. I like that. I like that. But maybe not here. Not liking that. That one looks a little bit more flat when it comes to a cliff. I like that. Move it a little further. It's going through the tree. I don't like that it's going through. I want the tree to appear above it, like in front of it, so like the tree's resting on that little edge. Certain rotation or a certain size, that might be good. Not bad. Gonna have to get rid of some of these trees. at that. Trying to find a good one to use with this edge, but I'm not seeing much. Keep this one. No, not liking that. Yeah, at a certain rotation, this one might work. Not bad. Maybe like, that cliff edge is good. I like that. I see it. It's gone. Sorry, there was an icon that was kind of fighting with another one, so I just got rid of it. That'll do. This is going to be a difficult area to put some cliffs around, I think. Very thin and delicate. We will have to make do with what we have. That looks like it's got a weird mouth. Definitely going to keep that in like that. like that. I like this idea that this entire area is like stepped up a bit. I think that scale there, it's just unrecognizable, so I'm not gonna do that. I don't know about that. Needs to be smaller in order to fit there. Yep. Uh-oh. Not what I wanted to do. Again? Oh. Must be misclipping some hotkey. Oh boy. This one definitely looks a little weird when turned around like that. Thinking maybe I could take this one and this one and make something out of it. That's not bad actually. Turn it slightly this way. There you go. Get a lot of good stuff in the code. coastline there. This is certainly the most tedious part, and the part I dislike the most when it comes to this part of making a map. It does look quite nice. And another step after that is to color in those cliffs to make them look better. It's a small detail, but it adds a lot. I think I'm only gonna go for a couple more minutes here. Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't fit. It's big. I'm not feeling that. Or that, really. I can see that. Alright. I think that's gonna about do it for today. Enough. Roughly on the same time I typically end off, instead of going for like a total of 4 hours. That was a good world building stream. Got a lot done. And there's still yet more to do, but I will leave this for another time. I'm gonna need to generate some town names. Probably finish up those cliffs on stream. And then at some point this will be done. So likely not within the next couple weeks, because next week I have something else planned. I want to work on a different thing. Thank you to everybody who watched. I'm so glad that I was able to work on this. Perhaps work on something with you if you were working on something in the background. Had me on while you were busy. Thank you for dropping by, and I hope to see you another time.